सपने सुरीले सपने कुछ हंसते कुछ गम के तेरी आंखों के साए चुराए रसीली यादों ने ओ मैंने तेरे लिए ही साथ रंग के सपने चुने सपने सुरीले सपने छोटी बातें छोटी छोटी बातों की है यादें बड़ी भूले नहीं बीती हुई एक छोटी घड़ी छोटी बातें छोटी छोटी बातों की है यादें बड़ी भूले नहीं बीती हुई एक छोटी घड़ी जन्म जन्म से आंखें बिछाई तेरे लिए गुलाबों में ओ मैंने तेरे लिए ही साथ रंग के सपने चुने सपने सुरीले सपने भोले भाले दिल को बहलाते रहे तन्हाई में तेरे ख्यालों को सजाते रहे भोले भाले दिल को बहलाते रहे तन्हाई में तेरे ख्यालों को सजाते रहे कभी कभी को आवाज देकर मुझको जगाया ख्वाबों में ओ मैंने तेरे लिए ही साथ रंग के सपने चुने सपने सुरीले सपने
Welcome back. A very pleasant good evening and welcome to the Ken Ramprasad Show here on Island Zone Radio in New York. We are streaming live on Facebook, and you know what? It's so unfortunate that we just played this song from Guyana, and it's a beautiful song that uplifting to women, and we get knocked out. Nevertheless, we are back and bad. Nothing gonna stop us back from being on the radio. So yes, a very pleasant good evening to you guys. Today, first, we'll be talking to the man from Canada, Mr. Narayan Dutt. He's all decked out. He looks sharp and ready to fire off. But more importantly, too, Women History Month is March of every year. And this year, tomorrow is International Women's Day.
Correct.
So I'm so glad that we put aside the 8th of March for Women's Day. But you know what, Radhika? I really believe in my heart that every day should be Women's Day. We should be
course.
celebrating women every day. What's your take?
Every day is Women's Day. I agree with that. But it's nice to have a day just dedicated to you. Just like Mother's Day, like Valentine's Day, like
Right.
Christmas Day. It's always nice to have a day that is dedicated, to yourself, to women.
That's right. And you know, every day I pray that women get their fair share in this world and they're being treated, get their fair share. They should be
I know.
treated equally like men. But
Well,
I'll let you do your honest business.
yes, let's welcome our guest first.
Right.
So, hello, viewers. How's it going? A warm welcome and a hearty thank you to all of you for choosing to spend the next 2 hours with us. From our hearts with Radhika and the man, Ken.
Ken, yes.
All right. Thank you all. As you all know, we are in the month of March, a special month of the year. Because, yay, it's not only my birthday month, that's not all. It's the month we celebrate women internationally. All right. So tomorrow, March 8th, as Ken just said, is a global day to celebrate the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women. March 8th also commemorates the day action was called to accelerate women's equality with the first gathering of over 1 million people. So therefore, March was selected for observing Women's History Month to correspond with International Women's Day. This month-long commemoration started back all the way back in 1978, and it was organized by the school district in Sonoma, California. Tonight we have our dear friend. He is a familiar face with all of you by now. Narayan Dutt. He hails all the way from Canada. Narayan is a talk host. He is a he's a talk show host and a renowned social worker. And also he is a community advocate. And he in 2013 he was named one of the 25 top Canadian immigrants. So kudos to you, Narayan. He's also founder and president of Active Vision Charity Association. He received over 200 awards for his work in Canada and in Guyana. And we are pleased to hear that you just received another big international award for empowering women. Congratulations to you. And we would like you to tell us a little bit more about that empowering of women.
All
Uh,
right.
Talk about your award first. Congratulations to on my behalf and all our viewers. We want to say thank you very much. You have really made us Guyanese very proud, and
Proud.
we are very proud of you. Know that.
All right. So first of all, thanks for having me again. So let's talk about the award, and we are going to get into women empowerment, obviously, because we want to make sure that the focus is on women, right? We don't want to get beat up at the end of the show here. At the end of the day, we all have a responsibility, and I mean, every so often, we talk about earlier during the introduction that we celebrate and honor women once a year and make it an official thing, kind of thing, so to speak, right? Having said that, though, I think it is important for all of us to do our bits and pieces. And over the years, I've done my bits and pieces, by the way. And so basically, I have empowered women across the globe. And I'm coming to the award piece in a few minutes. And so, the things that we take for granted, a lot of women need just a basic support, in terms of improving themselves, economically, right? A lot of business women across the globe need a little bit of an assistant to get started with self-employment and all of those unique pieces. I personally have seen the need. I have done my piece along with obviously supporters as well too, to kind of narrow the gap in a sense that we provided opportunities to women across the globes, meaning that we offer not only mentorship but also give cash dollars, right? We all love that cash dollars, right? And because of that, a lot of women ended up becoming independent business women and are very, very successful now, right? And every year, and so speaking of that, because the things that we have do, and myself in particular, in championing, the project, every year, I should mention, it is a USA organization, by the way, though I live in Canada. It is a USA organization by the name of the International Alliance for Women. Every year, they choose 100 people across the globe to present them with this prestigious honor, right, for empowering women, right? Whether that be, to become, successful business individual, whether that be, them entering, the political arena and so forth. And I have to say, I'm very pleased to be chosen as one individual here, the only person in North America, by the way, right? And it goes to show that when we do our things, when we are making an impact, we will get result at the end of the day. So though I received the award and though it empowered me as an individual, I think the real champions are the women, because they are the ones with the ideas of wanting to champion their life. They're the ones with the idea wanting a better life for themselves and kind of break the cycle that they had to go through in terms of difficulties and challenges and so on. So that's a little bit about the award there. It is prestigious. In fact, all the 200 awards that we keep talking about, they are prestigious awards, by the way.
Really an honor to, I mean, 100 people worldwide, and you were given that award. I
We
my hats
salute you.
hats off to you.
So, that's a great accomplishment. I thought, I had a lot of awards, but he beat me out a lot. But I have to embrace him and say thank you very much. So let's talk, since that we are,
What Narayan that said, what you said about women with the business, I think right now the number has increased so much. There's over 30 to 40% of women who own their own businesses and run their own businesses. You know, like from before, women were not even allowed to keep their wages. I think in the 1900s. So
For sure.
so that's a great thing you're doing too.
so when we talk about women empowerment, Narayan, what are we talking about? How do we really, or let's talk about what's empowerment?
There are different ways to look at empowerment and women empowerment in particular. You will hear me hammering out the word women here through the night here because we want to make sure that is our way to kind of honor women, in every sentence I speak here. So basically, women empowerment, is us basically promoting women's self worth, right? Meaning that we have to recognize that each woman you know has has her own potential to master their own masterpiece, so to speak. So there shouldn't be correspondence in I mean any kind of corresponding in terms of differences and so on. We should recognize that each woman is special in her own way, right? So when we talk about women empowerment, we are talking about promoting, right? We are
Right.
promoting women's sense of self-worth, right? Whatever that is. A woman doesn't have to be known. A woman doesn't have to receive 200 awards before we promote their self-worth, right? So we have to think of that when we are talking about women empowerment, right? Women empowerment is things like the ability, right, for them to make their own choices, right? A woman should have that choice to decide when she wants to get married, for example, right? A woman should have, that choice to get into a trade or into a profession that she wants, not what society wants her to be, right? Those pieces are all, empowering for women, right? If a woman chooses to, be a cashier, then so shall it be. We have to honor the choice of a woman. If a woman chooses to get into trades, then so shall it be. A woman doesn't necessarily have to be, doing the normal kinds of things that we see. A woman doesn't have to be in a perfect shape as how society, want them to be, right? So when we think, and when we think of empowerment, women empowerment, we have to think along that line. And so I will kind of repeat it again. When we think of, about women empowerment, we are talking about, promoting, right, women's a sense of self-worth, right? Because each woman, has something very special. They might not always recognize it, but we have a responsibility to allow them to recognize their own self-worth, and we need to promote it, right? We need to bring the people from the back burner and put them at the front. That's what I mean by promoting self-worth. And to really hammer it again, right? A woman, so important for her to have the choice, right? A choice that works for her, not a choice that works for family, not a choice that works for society, right? All of that for me, it really explain and kind of really capture what women empowerment is all about.
That's true. I know it's still a man's world, although women has come a very long way. And there is something special about women, as you say, who dominate in a man's world these days. It takes certain grace, strength, intelligence, fearlessness, and the nerve to never take a no for an answer as well. And it's not like I wish that women have power over men, but over themselves as well. The women should have power over themselves as well. So the question that you were saying, why is it important to to
Empower yourself.
empower yourself, women?
Um, um, I mean, you are asking me why is it important for women to empower themselves?
Yes.
I
Why is it
mean,
important for the woman?
for sure, it is important for a woman to empower herself. If not, society, people, will take advantage of women if a woman is not empowered to recognize her potential, right? And we need to kind of assess, women to kind of really empower themselves, right? We need to make sure that we are helping and encouraging women to boost their self-esteem. Think how damaging it is, right? When a woman doesn't have high self-esteem. When you have high self-esteem, it does not matter in when it comes to richness. It does not matter when it comes to all the material things, because that self-esteem will carry that woman with pride for a long, long time. So we again, though, have an obligation to assist and help women, right? Particularly in certain culture, particularly because in some in some cultures and so forth, women were brought up differently as second class, so to speak. So we need to kind of get change their thinking, right? Change their thinking, and so that they can take leadership role in society. They can take leadership role in the household. It doesn't always have to be the men to have the last say, right? And so that's the importance, right, for women to have to continuously empowering themselves, because without you having that high self-esteem, you are losing out. I'm referring to women here, from lots of great opportunities.
So I would say there is no limit as to what women can accomplish once they put their minds to it, right?
Uh,
And as Oprah said, think like a queen. A queen is not afraid to fail. Failure is just another stepping stone to greatness. So if you fall, get up. Get up and try again and again and again until you accomplish your goal. Yes.
My next question to you, my brother, what are some of the traits of a high value woman that separates her from everyone else?
Well, keep in mind, women are intelligent human beings, right? And so the traits that set them apart, is basically them knowing their own self-worth. When a woman recognizes her self-worth, it is a beautiful thing. And so those are traits that really set them apart, right? When a woman loves herself and respect herself, right? Those are all beautiful traits, right? When a woman, is kind and compassion. Those are all beautiful traits, right? When a woman is committed for continuous growth and continuous learning and wanting to do more, and don't just settle to become, just a housewife, right? When a woman recognizes that there's more to life than just taking care of the kid and taking care of the husband, right? That's a beautiful traits when it comes to a woman's value, right? When a woman recognize, right, and have that self-awareness that she has more than what people see her to be, right? When a woman is not afraid to speak up, when she recognizes that there's a need for her to voice her opinion, right? When a woman has that passion, for wanting more, and recognize that flame in her, are all beautiful traits, when it comes to stand out as special and unique women.
Yes, I agree totally with that, because I think feminism isn't about making women strong either. Women are already strong, right? It's about changing the way that the world perceives the woman as being strong as well. It's I would say the women are the real architects of society. What do you say?
That's right. I'm backing you, ladies, 100%. And I know Narayan that is doing the same thing.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
he
I
is empowering.
yes,
Yes.
I really do believe that we need to. First of all, I think women should empower themselves, and we people like me and Narayan that we are going to support you guys 100%. We are there to help give you that extra push. right now, right? So you guys could go ahead and live your life
As
to
I
the
say,
fullest.
it's still like the man is the head of the household, you're the head. But it said that back home, he said the woman is the neck. We're the one who turn you in the right direction most of the times, right? The women turn the head to go in the right direction if you pay heed. Yeah.
Right,
Have
right.
you heard about that?
Go ahead. You can tell
Yes.
us.
No, that's what they say. The man is the head, but the woman is the neck, and make the head turn
All right. Well,
wherever
you
you
know,
know. So I want to ask you one more question. Why is it important for women to be comfortable in their own skin?
It's very important, actually. It is not uncommon, for women because I mean that's what they see, on social media, in magazine, and so on. It is not uncommon, right, for women to look into the mirror and don't like what they see, and that is very troublesome, right? So it is important for a woman to be very comfortable in her own skin, whether that be she be a person of a darker skin, whether that be a person of a lighter skin, whether that be a person on the heavier side, whether that be a person on the lighter side. I'm speaking of weight here and so on. Because if a woman is not happy with herself, right, basically she's holding herself back from maximizing her potential, and eventually that can lead to a lot of unnecessary stress and mental challenges and so on. And so it is important for a woman to be so confident in herself that when she looks into the mirror, she is pleased with what she sees. Because the minute a woman tries to please society and please family members and please her community based on her physical looks and how she carry herself, she is basically setting up herself for failure, and you do not want to do that because we will never be able to obviously please everybody. So you want to make sure that a woman should to have that confidence and be comfortable in her own skin. And we now, especially men, have to respect that, right? And we cannot tell a woman, okay, well, this is how you should dress, and this is what you should be doing. I think once we do that, those kinds of things, it is a form of controlling and we're not even realizing it. So I think once a woman is confident and with the way she is, that's a good starting point for her to champion her own life. And it's very important. I hope that people who are watching here really take note here. If you are happy with what you see when you look into the mirror, then it means that your self-esteem is at a very high point. If you're looking to the mirror, you're not happy with what you see, maybe it's an opportunity to start a conversation, with somebody, because if you don't love yourself, then how can you expect other people to love you? So very, very important, very, very crucial. And so I will encourage people to kind of think along that line.
Well, it's time for us to give our viewers some love.
Sure.
Let's give them some love, and then another song. In the meantime, Narayan is going to catch his breath. I don't know if you have your phone, but in the meantime, I will give some love out. Dan Batty, a very good evening to you. Maria Harris, good evening. And Anjani Olarti is watching. She said that's true. And I'm so glad we have Ravindra Ramcharan in the shout box. And he says all women are strong. They go through a lot in their life in this world, but always have pride and stand tall in the end. And he put a nice rose for them. Let's see, we have Rowena Lal, say very true around that. Supram. Yes, good evening, Maria Harris. So good to have you back on. Celis Singh, a very good evening to you. Let's see, we have Ramola Prasad, who actually will be our next guest in the next hour. She will be on at 9 o'clock, and she will share her story in terms of she's a breast cancer survivor, so she will share her story to help other people. And she says many of us wasn't brought up to put ourselves first, but bringing these awareness is empowering and educating our future daughters and sisters. Absolutely, and that's how we do it. We migrate to the United States, North America, different parts of the world, and we just do what it is. So it's always good to empower women. Let's see, we have Ravindra says that women empowerment is every day, 24/7, 365 days. We shouldn't just leave one day. There are our queen, mother, wife, aunt, sisters, and cousin. Zamal Sharif. Hey, good to see you on. He's from Lenora on the west coast of the Marara. It's always good to see you and my fellow Lenorian are watching the show. Dan Pati, a very good evening to you. And then I could have Radhika start from the top and send out some greetings. We have Sheila Mangar is watching all the way from Suriname.
Yeah, I just want to make a shout out to my cousin Ramona Bacon, all the way from Florida, Tampa, Florida. She logged on today. Thank you for logging on. I'm not getting there.
Let's see. We have your daughter is on. That's very good. It's good to have her on. Judy Lidra it's good to have Judy on always. The beautiful Nalini Naidu is on. My sister Ish Dowlat Ram is watching from Canada. She's the one that makes the flyers look beautiful. So thank you very much. My good friend is watching from Parika, Joan Ragubir. She says she's watching from Parika. That's good. Our beautiful Shanti Singh is watching. I saw Shanti the other day. She looking beautiful again.
I saw her last night too. She looked beautiful again.
That's right. That's Miss Guyana for me. Agnes Ramphal, my cousin, is watching from Guyana. And good evening to you, Ravindra. Says good evening to Radhika, Ken, and Narayan. We have Tara Singh is watching. Sissy McBill, good to have you on. And Ramola is saying that congrats to Mr. Narayan. Proud of you, sir. Baby Hawk, go ahead.
Yes, I want to say hello to Maria Harris. Very good evening to you as well.
Okay, I have Amiran Haroon. A very good evening to you too. It's always good to have you on. In the meantime, I'm getting a song ready for you guys. Are you ready? The man Apache Warrior.
Oh, yeah,
That's right. Welcome back to the Ken Rampersad Show here on Island Zone Radio. And when I look at them, Dulahin, but through them proper dress up in this video, which is a good thing. So, Narayan,
Yeah.
how do we as men, right? How do we empower our women? Do we compliment them for things? Do you think women feel nice as men? We let work, we compliment them for them to feel good. Do we have a role as men to help our women to feel empowered?
Absolutely. There's no question, right? We have a role to play as men to make sure that women feel, empowered. And it's not only by us, saying nice things and doing nice things and things of that kind, but it's a little bit more than that. I think we need to do a little bit more. I think it is time, by the way. I think the time is right, for us to do a little bit more, meaning that we have to make sure that we are encouraging and support women to take leadership roles, right? So whether that be in a local organization, whether that be at the church, whether that be the temple, mosque, and so on, we have to make sure that women are, are being supported in those leadership roles. I was very disappointed, by the way, when I saw a flyer that's floating around with a Chutney show, and they have only men, 100% men, and I think that's a shame, right? And so when we recognize things like that, we are not putting anybody down, but we need to pinpoint it, right? Because we cannot talk about, men supporting women and giving fair opportunity to women when we are not doing it, right? And there's a good chance that this particular group is operating in a blind spot, meaning that they are not even realizing, that there's an opportunity to be inclusive and make sure that we are putting, women there too. But like as a licensed diversity and inclusion trainer, among many other things that I do, when I saw that, I knew right away that there's an opportunity for improvement there. So we need to make sure that we are addressing these things in an appropriate way, right? We need to make sure that men, we need to step back, actually, right? I like the fact that you have a beautiful female co-host. I think that's a step in the right direction. And by the way, I have to say that I've seen clips of the show that that took place recently in the States there, and you did a beautiful job, I have to say, speaking of
Thank you so
complimenting a
very
woman. And I enjoy it. And I think that, you just being yourself, and you are really empowering women in a way that you're not even realizing, right? But let's talk about men empowering men here. I think it is important. I will say it again. We need to step back a little bit and making sure that we are putting women in control, right? We cannot always, take the forefront, right? And so that's something we have to have the awareness of, right? When you look at the churches and so on, take a look, right? This is important conversation, right? Because churches and so on, they do fundraising, they want to move forward, they want to do all of that, but you have a lot of men who are managing, these pieces, right, and things like that. And we need to make sure that we're having a little bit of a equality there, right? We want to make sure that we listen more to men. We need to listen more and talk less, right? We need to listen to our women, whether that be in our home circle, whether that be, in, at work, whether that be, in a community setting. All of those pieces we need to do, and we need to start today. It is never too late for us to do our bits and pieces, because this, empowering is not about, me doing my piece. It's not about Ken doing his piece. It is about all of us, doing our bits and pieces. And it starts with us, and we need to do more of that. I would like to see, more of opportunity where women are leading the way. And so those are the things that we need to get started with, right? We do not need to be in a particular, elected, position for us to start all this. These are things that we can do, and we need to do it and do it with pride.
Before you guys go, I see the man Apache Warrior just came on. We just play his song, and I was telling our viewers that I see a lot of Dulahin in the background. They're dancing, they're looking good, and I have to tell you that one of the things that I really like about Apache Warrior, he's a singer, and he promotes a lot of girls, a lot of ladies singing alongside with him. So he is in our book one of the great guys around who is supporting women and putting forward women.
Empowering women in that way, right? It's also said what you're saying brings like a lot of thought to women here. It's said that if you want something said, ask a man, right? If you want something done, ask a woman.
Lot of trouble, right? That trouble.
So next thing I would like to ask you, from a lady's point of view,
Right.
and what you said before, I've always been chunky, so I haven't always liked what I saw in the mirror, but I've come to accept myself as well, and I'm like, you know what?
Show off for you guys.
That's me. You haven't flaunted. So, so the question that I'm going to ask you: what do men find attractive in women?
It's a very good question, by the way. And to the women, keep in mind, I'm going based on research and things of that kind. So don't take anything that I'm saying here personally. But do know that men look for certain qualities in women, right? There's no question about that, right? It's very normal. It's a normal thing, right? And so, generally speaking, men preferred, a woman who can stay calm and relax, right? Calm and relax. Think about that for a second, right? Men also prefer beautiful women who's prefer beauty. For them, beauty is more than just makeup and fancy hairstyle, right? So think about that. We as men see beauty to be more than just makeup, and hairstyle, right? The things that people do on Facebook now, for example, right? And all of that, right? And so we see beauty to be beyond that, right? And study shows that for sure, right? Men find women to be more attractive when they are neat and clean, right? So when a woman carry herself, and physically clean, right? We find that more attractive than rather, having lots of makeup and all the fancy pieces, right? Because a lot of men look beyond the physical pieces, right? The makeup piece and things of that kind. Study shows that, right? Men also find women, um, you know, um, who smell nice as well too. You know what I mean? They have to have that kind of special kind of take to them too, right? And that doesn't mean that a woman should dress up nicely and have a good hairstyle and carry herself, nicely based on how she see fit. But at the end of it all, study shows that a man prefers a woman, you know, who is professional, nice and calm, rather than cover up herself with makeup. And that's something women need to pay a keen attention to, right? So not because somebody just kind of overdo it kind of thing, meaning that men look for that peace, right? It might work temporarily, but overall men look for that inside beauty, kind of thing, right? And so we have that that third eye, women, right? We can see beyond. So do know that, right?
That's a very very interesting. Because most of us women, you got to go out, you have to get that little lipstick, but because of COVID, we've let go of ourselves a little bit like that too. But yet still, we like dressing up. We
And the
do.
dress up thing is not a bad thing. Don't misunderstand me. The dress up, I think a woman should be able to do all of that, right? But we as men,
I know.
we love women with or without, right? Just so you know.
We
Right,
like
right.
what's inside. Right. Well, yes, got it. Yes, that's a very good answer. Thank you for that enlightenment. Mhm.
Also, we know that lot of women they do a lot of hard work, but they don't get the pay for that. What's your take, Narayan? I would like to see someday that women get equal pay to men because guess what? And we're talking about our daughters, our wife, our sisters, and so on. So why not give them equal?
Yes, and so absolutely, and it happens. It happens worldwide, and change can happen when we do advocacy work, policy advocacy, and a lot of people know me as a social worker, but social worker is very broad, and so I do a variety of social work pieces, and part of the pieces that I do is policy advocacy. So, for example, Ken brought up an excellent point. Today, though we live in a modernized world, women are paying less for doing the same job as men. What a shame. And so that's one of the reasons why we have to make sure that we are advocating, for change where we can see change, we can see change in these policies, right? That's one of the reasons why we talk about it earlier, where we need women to be in those leadership roles, where they can have that power to change those policies. We have political organizations here where only men are making decisions. So the problem is, when you have only men making those decisions, right, then the woman doesn't have a say. And so those are things that we can do to make sure that that doesn't happen.
Exactly. So, that's true. We need to put women, and you know what? Like, I think a confident man shouldn't have a problem having a female boss. I like to have a female boss sometimes, but you know what, Naranto? Sometimes when you have a female boss, they come different every time, every different part of the month they come with a little attitude and thing, So that's another
Hormones,
story.
hormones.
So
So
yeah,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that we want a nice, and women shouldn't. I don't like a chat woman really. I like, as you said before, someone who's mellow and who could hold it down without getting too excited, if you know what I mean.
Mhm. No,
Right?
yeah, no, I totally hear you. I mean, coincidentally, in my career over the years, I've had more. I've worked actually mainly with women, and I've had many women bosses along the road.
Yes.
Even in school and so on. In social work, things like that. Rarely men, you'll find in those programs. And so, and I felt blessed because I was, educated by some really amazing women. And I think that's what sets me apart, really. I think that's one of the reasons I consider myself very knowledgeable, because I was educated by women, because so I kind of have it, the best of both worlds, the way I see it.
So things are changing right now. Before they used to say, you educate a man, you educate an individual, but that's not right as we see today. You're educating everybody here today. And they say you educate a woman, you educate generations to come. And that's true. From my generations, from my ancestors, they've been quite a lot of strong women, and we come from that generation, which I think opened our eyes. We never felt like we did not have a say in anything. So that comes from like my family line. We are strong women there.
Oh, for sure. I mean, like right now, there's still an opportunity though for women to have that exposure to education and so on. Believe it or not, as we speak, we have about 31 million girls who are not getting the opportunity to go to school, and I'm speaking worldwide stats here, right? And so I think us having these kinds of conversation, keeping it alive, right? We are doing our part to make sure that we are closing that gap, right? Sometimes all people need is just that little opportunity to kind of break through. And sometimes it starts with a conversation, because we have to remember and remind ourselves, to particularly to the women who are watching right now, the biggest idea, the biggest project, right, usually starts off with the simplest idea, that first step, right? And so keep that piece in mind.
Exactly.
That's right. We're gonna play another song. Catch it, and we got a couple of minutes more to go. We'll play a song. You will catch your breath. You will come back with something good, and Radhika is gonna come back with something good too. In the meantime, we'll be reading some comments. I see Patricia is on. Good to have you on. I see Natasha on. A very good evening to you. So Billy Rameshwar, a guy from Lenora, who we live in the same street. So let's go with another song. And that, like I said before, we have to play safe songs, because guess what? I don't want to get knocked out here. As we get knocked out one time already. That's the man Umesh from Canada, one of my favorite singers.
Yeah, yeah, musafir hu yaro, nagar mein na tikana. What time? You were thinking away of
So you could ask him ask if that was the
what time? You were thinking away of it's all nation of mine. Call me. This is the way we gonna do this thing. You like the waves on the street bed, led by you. It's always sing.
Welcome back to the Ken Ramprasad Show here on Island Zone Radio. And that was the man Umesh Singh, all the way from Canada. And I'm sure that probably Narayan that knows him. It is so true that my sister Anita she worked very hard with her husband. They do a lot of woodwork in Canada. So yeah, big up to her. Ajay Ramlochan, he's on. He says Monday night too. Yes, we are coming on every Monday night. We start our new show last week, From Our Hearts, with Radhika and Ken.
Mhm.
That's right. Go ahead, Radhika.
Yeah, I just want to shout out to Ravindra. He always makes me laugh. He said he loves his women from the Bronx. Their hood.
Oh yes, yes.
The women always protect the men there. So
Right, right.
kudos to the women of the Bronx, right? And Ajay Ramlochan, good evening. Yes, welcome to the new show. Every Monday evening from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, we'll be on. Arlene Narain,
Yes.
hello, how are you doing? Ryan Jeffrey, that's our DJ Fest. Hi, Ryan. Missed you Saturday. Um,
We have Shahid Baksh is watching too. Sarita Jagrup is watching from the Netherlands. She's a
oh,
dedicated listener to
very
Island Zone
nice.
Radio.
Very nice.
Yes, Sarita, I'm in Barbados when you watch me and Radhika in the beach there. And I think Narayan That looks like he's in a park with a swimming pool. So go ahead, ask your
Yes.
question.
Yes. Another question for you, Narayan. Should we be worried that the woman
Woman is
should
empowered.
should society be worried if a woman is empowered?
No, absolutely not. I think society should be pleased and should be happy, right? That women are getting that opportunity to kind of make their contribution for too long. I know over the years we have seen a little bit of improvements here and there, bits and pieces, but when you look deep and far, we still have a far way to go. And I think society should worry that we are still stuck in a box, right? And basically, it comes down to this cultural, according to studies, anyways, it comes down to this cultural piece, and the way we were brought up that men does that, and this is how it should be, and that's a man's job. It is not a woman's job, and things of that kind. Actually, it took me a while to adjust when I was younger, um, because I mean, think about it. Me migrating from Guyana, and come to Canada here, right? It was a huge cultural shock where I see that things were starting to kind of progress, but society should start to worry that why is it that we kind of stuck still where women are not getting that opportunity that they deserve. When you look at politics in the states and so on, right? I know now with the current administration, and this show is not about politics, but this is just an example, by the way, right? And so basically, we have seen that for the very first time we have a female vice president, right? I think it is very empowering for women to see a woman there. Never happened before. That's a step in the right direction, right? Before we haven't seen that. All we have seen, two white men, two white men, two white men. Very damaging for society. Don't email me about this, by the way. This is just an example kind of thing, right? Right. So think about how empowering it is for girls, especially people of color. And when I say people of color, everybody is a person of color. But when I talk about person of color, I'm referring to the minority people, the brown skinned people, the dark skinned people, and so on, right? Think how powerful it is, right? You have a young girl. I know we have 30 seconds, Ken.
Yeah.
A young girl looking and see, that they too have that potential, not necessarily to become the vice president or president for America, but to become a champion in society. And to you women, to the women, do know that you are all champion. And I hope that you take things to the next level. And Ken and I and everybody else, we're here to allow you to kind of move forward. That's why we're here. So thank you for having me here, Ken. I will be watching the rest of the show behind the scene here tonight.
Okay, good.
Thank you
Well,
so much. You brought up some beautiful points there just now. For example, don't go here. He can stay on
if you want, you could stick around
Stay on a little more.
I want to be fair to we have two women coming,
someone,
and we want to make sure that we are putting the spotlight on the women, and for that reason I'm going to step out, but I'll be watching this show behind
okay,
the scene. That's
cool.
my way to stick to what I am committed to.
All right.
Yeah, you
Thank
just made of the progress that women are making here in the United States. Like, for instance, like in 1920, right?
Right.
Women won the right to vote. Thanks to the 19th Amendment, women can now vote. In 1981, Sandra Day O'Connor, she was the first woman appointed to the U.S. Supreme Court.
Right.
1983, Sally Ride became the first woman to go into space. So yes,
Wow.
baby, going to infinity and beyond.
Right.
In 2016, Hillary Rodham Clinton, she was the first woman to be nominated for president by a major political party. She didn't win, but that was a major step up as well. And from what I know, the women have been powerful all along. Women has always been present in the army, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yes.
The Army North Corps was created in 1901, right? And the Navy North Corps was created in 1905.
Right, right.
Yes. Married women also they were allowed to own property in their own name and to keep their own wages in the 1900s.
All right.
Yes. So it's going ahead. And the first college to accept women students was the Salem College that was founded in 1772.
True, yes.
Yes. And as we said before, in present day, more than 30% of all business today are owned and run by women. So kudos, women to women, they have certainly come a long way. Thank you. So we'll have our next guest come on.
Thank you, my brother. Take it easy, okay?
All
Always
right.
a pleasure listening to you. It's always so educational, enlightening, and thank you so very much.
Yeah, no problem. I'll be watching behind the scene. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Good. Thank you very much. All right. Yes, let's go. You know, we could play another song in the meantime while we're getting things sorted out here. Let's go with the song. You're watching the Ken Ramprasad Show on Island Zone Radio. But the song doesn't want to play now.
जादू तेरा इस पे चला होगा किसी ये फैसला होगा जिया ये किया ये चला तुम्हें अभी कहा जाना है किसी नहीं और किसी को परछाना है होगा तेरा आशिक ज़माना और कत्ल होगा तेरा निशाना राज कर तेरे सर आए हमें चलाना हो सोने दिला उनके हमने खाएंगे अपने जाल में छिपा के बस जाएंगे वो करिया ने किया ये कीमत पानी पे तुझको हमने समझाना है, जिसे जीना है और किसको मर जाना
Welcome back to the Ken Ramprasad Show here on Island Zone Radio. The mic is over to my beautiful co-host. As you guys see, she is on the money, and I'm so glad I chose a woman to be the next vice president or the president of the From Our Hearts with Radhika and Ken. So welcome again to our studio, Ramola.
So during the month of March, we give a little extra attention to all of the amazing accomplishments of strong, determined women. Every woman has a story and gift to share with the world. So get ready. This month is about honoring magnificent ladies, and we are ready to celebrate them to the fullest. Today, it is an honor and a privilege to have with us my dear friend Romola Prasad, a cancer survivor, a great fighter if I've ever seen one. Romola is a mother, a wife, a daughter-in-law, and she always shows a brave and positive face no matter what her situation is. She puts her faith in God and her positivity in all her endeavors. My dear, beautiful Romola, welcome to our show. From Our Hearts with Radhika and Ken. Thank you for coming on with us this evening.
Thank you.
Okay, my first question to you is that, we know that you're a cancer survivor. Also, I want to tell people that there is so many people who was diagnosed with cancer last year, and every year after year, we're getting a lot of women diagnosed with breast cancer. I also want to tell people, and I know that you will say the same thing, that when you get cancer, it's not a death sentence. So my first question to you is, how did you really find out that you had cancer?
Self-examination.
Really? So you were checking
Yes,
yourself?
self-examination. I had just finished the physical and it did not show up.
What?
And many of us women, we do not do self-exam.
Mhm.
It is important in the shower. It is important to listen to your bodies. And yes, that was it.
So let me ask you, and I'm going to tell our viewers, and this is where the nursing part comes in me. When we talk about sign, is things that you can see, and when we talk about symptoms, is what you're feeling. So apart from what you felt, did you feel any way different in your body? Like when you get up in the morning, did you get pain in your arm? Anything that really bring attention? So, my God, I'm sick.
No,
No.
there was no sign. But I wasn't feeling well for many years.
Hmm.
It's just like depression, laziness, tiredness.
Hmm.
I did my physical 2016. I did my mammogram,
Hmm.
and that came back clean.
Hmm.
2017, my son got married, so I was perfect.
Hmm.
And 2018, I felt it 14th February 2018. Without that, if I had waited and I did not go to the doctor, I was not going to be here today.
Really?
Yes, it was I feeling the lump, and I called my physical doctor that right away said to go and do the mammogram, follow a biopsy, and 6 days I lose my girls.
Really? That quick?
That
So,
quick.
let me ask you, when you
No
said,
one had believed. No one had believed it. It was too quick.
okay, I want to add, and that's why, early, I want to, I'm going to sound off for some things that I know since I'm a nurse. And so one of the things I want to say while you're talking is that early detection is the key.
Yes, early detection is the key.
If you didn't find out about this lump, this silent killer would be right in them girls.
Yes.
I don't want
It did made me lose the girls. I wasn't going to be here.
Wow.
If I had waited.
Wow. But go ahead, Radhika. Ask your question. I'm going to
That was a very, very close call. Like to
Yes.
operate, do the surgery in 6 days. That
Yes,
was a close call.
absolutely.
We are happy that you detected and you made a move and that you're here today with us. All right. So, Romola, my question I would like to ask you is, what were your first thoughts after you got such a diagnosis?
Death.
After you got
Th-
that?
You thought of that same time.
Okay.
Yes. Am I going to die?
Mhm.
I went into self-pity.
You sorry for
Why
yourself.
me?
Yes.
Am I ready? Am I prepared? Am I going to leave my kids? And I think this is a question that represents many of you women out there. We live for our children, and having such diagnosis, your world just turned upside down in seconds. I don't wish it for my worst enemy, and the struggle is not easy. So you need to go and do your yearly mammogram, your physical, your pap smear, and let's fight this demonic disease.
Wow. So your state of affair, were you like scared? Did you start to cry? Who were the first person you called after all of this?
My husband,
Okay.
my husband.
And were you told how give us a I wanted you to live back this time. When you find out that you had this and you call your husband, how you what was your state of affair and what did you say?
Um, we went together.
Oh, you went together.
We went together. The doctor, after the mammogram and the biopsy, the doctor called within 3 days and said, "Come in for your results."
Oh,
And I told him, "Let's go." He cried. I didn't.
mm,
I didn't.
hmm
I went into the war within myself.
hmm
And that war continues. Life have not been the same since. But I smile. And I'm not smiling for me. I'm smiling for my children. I'm smiling for my husband. I'm smiling for the world. To think it's okay. No, it's not okay.
Wow. And it has to take a toll on you, the stress to know um, that you have cancer. You know what I'm saying? So, and how old were you then when you were first diagnosed with breast cancer?
I was 41 years old.
Wow, that's
I was
young.
not ready.
My next question to you, and that a follow up question on that: do you have cancer? If you want tissue, the tissue is there. Do anyone in your family had cancer? Like you have a history of cancer?
Yes, we have the BRCA genes in our family.
hmm
And one of the reasons I brought awareness and made my story public, because many of my family members are still in denial,
hmm
whereas many is going through cancer and keep it under the rug
hmm
and is not speaking about it.
Right.
Close family members, such as cousins and aunts, including my mom now, and it's all under the rug. I am bringing awareness because I want to save everyone. I want people to see it's not a contagious disease.
Absolutely.
We need help.
Right.
We need awareness. We need family support. We need, for me, Radhika is one of the people one day that stepped up and brought me juice.
Aw.
And she and I did not know each other.
Aw.
And I'm going to say this to the world. It is stranger to step up and help me.
hmm
And I'm proud to make my story public and save a lot of lives. I have done it so far. I've done a wonderful job. They are a friend of mine during the pandemic. She noticed I was going to my doctor's appointment. So she have her sister-in-law visiting from Jamaica. Her name is Janet Johnson on Facebook. So she decided to go and get tested.
hmm
Her sister-in-law came back with breast cancer, and she came back with colon cancer.
What?
She locked herself down and she focused on her health and her child.
Mm-hmm.
Her mom passed away, so she jumped in the plane and went to the funeral, but her body was not ready for such.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't make it back.
Wow.
She did not make it back. She had a massive heart attack on the plane.
Oh my.
There's another friend we lost last year that isolated herself from COVID. She was going through cancer also, but due to family pressure, she pushes herself to go to work. Her name is Esther. Many of you know Esther. We lost Esther in a very short space of time. The doctor gave her 3 months to live and she went in 6 days.
Wow.
Yes, the body is not ready. So despite seeing me looking so beautiful, I want you guys to know I'm just a beautiful shell. There's lots of challenges and I don't wish this for no one. So go and get your yearly mammogram checkup, your pap smear, and listen to your body. Thank you.
It's quite a stuff, it's reality. Right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Ramola, can you tell us a little bit about chemo? Was it scary for you?
And I want to add to your question too, because I'm going to put in my piece.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but no. When you went in, did they give you a treatment option? Whereas they're going to remove your breast, where they say they're going to give you chemotherapy or radiation. How did they break all this news to you? Did they sit down and had a good conversation with you?
Yes, and I was so scared. So I get away from that oncologist.
Oh, really?
And I went to another oncologist. So I
That's a
went
good
to Sloan.
thing.
And Sloan said they're going to admin the chemo through my hand, the
Right.
vein.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, I heard people say this and I heard people say that.
Right.
So I get away from Sloan.
Really?
And I went to a third opinion. There's a doctor by the name of Dr. Lederman in Manhattan. He do radio surgery, meaning he use radiation. So no cutting his truncated tumor. And he advised me go back to my number one oncologist. And their treatment plan is the best, along with Sloan. So I went back. The message why I run away, I thought it was painful. No, it's not painful. We sleep and we eat and we sleep. And within 2 to 3 days, sleeping and eating and resting, the pain goes. You don't really feel it. No, it's not scary. What's scary is not having family support. That was the hardest for me. And I would say this a million times. My husband gave me that time. He took care of me like a baby. And I don't give him praises many times because he has such a small head and I don't want it to get big. So I don't praise him often. But without his support, I wasn't going to be here. He was my mother. He was my mother-in-law. He represented all family members, including my children.
Wow.
Definitely you need support in these moments because I know my sister is a colon cancer survivor as well.
Right.
And she said without me and my other sister, she would never have survived her treatments, her chemo and radiation. At that time, I know I used to work in Manhattan. My husband would drop me off in the evenings. He would pick me up, drop me off at the hospital. I would spend the night with her while she's getting chemo. And the morning, I had my clothes there, I shower, and I go to work from the hospital while my other sister came to stay with her during the day. And then in the evenings, my husband bring me back. We usually had soup at the canteen there. That was our dinner. And then this scenario goes over again. So yes, to everyone out there, if you have a family member who is undergoing cancer, please be there for them. Please be there for them. And as Ramola said, I did not know her from anywhere. I just saw that she needed her juice that particular day.
Oh,
I called her. I asked her, where do you live? She told me. I went. And then she got me hooked on chai tea as well. So she she told me about this chai tea place, and and after that we became very good friends. I always check up on her, and she calls me, and it's been going what, like 2 years and a half,
3 years. 3 years.
Yes.
and that's what makes it special with our show, From Our Hearts with Radhika and Ken, because we a lot of people don't know what we do outside, and well, thank you for saying that too. So people will it will give us some credence to with our show that I'm with one of the best co-hosts there is, and like I said, when Radhika and myself, after the show we sit down and chit chat and drink coffee and so on. And a lot of times, both of us would say, this show is not about getting a lot of viewers. It's to make a difference in our community, to bring empowerment, to bring awareness for people. Because I am not the blackest dot there is or the brightest star, but our lights, both of our lights, are shining enough so that we can make a difference.
Our heart is full of love, and we want to share that love, and we
Yes.
want people to you guys to share love and be there for those in need. It's not always about money. It's not always about money. It's
True,
just
true.
just nice words sometimes bring such a difference. Nice thoughts to do something nice for someone.
Yes.
So
Also, I'm going to say that you have kids, right?
Yes, I have 2 children.
How did you tell your children? What was that like? That conversation. First, you probably had to build yourself up to tell them, or what?
My son said to me, "Mom, you can do this."
Mhm.
So 8 years ago, I had a heart attack on the plane, and my son was the first person that reached a Jamaica hospital,
Mhm.
and he said, "If you die, then Lord Krishna doesn't have powers."
Mm.
Yeah, and those are the words stuck in my brain. Who will take care of Lord Krishna if I'm not here? And my daughter had that faith. I didn't know that my positive influence have made such an impact on her. So she also had the faith in me. And my husband never looked at me as a cancer patient. Our home, there was no transition. We maintained our same lifestyle as if nothing happened.
Mhm.
Two of the people that really made an impact on me when my stepchildren came to visit me, they climb into bed and be normal and they just see Auntie Romola. They did not see a bald, depressed, dark, bald-headed woman. Everyone see me as me.
Mhm.
And that kept me going. That kept me beautiful.
All right, I like
it's
that.
the essence.
Yes.
The essence of Romola was there
Yes.
with everyone.
What is life like now for you after you have done this? After you pass through all of this, what's your day-to-day life? When you wake up in the morning, what's your mindset like?
My husband actually wake up.
Really,
Yes, because when I go through at nights,
really.
I get a lot of palpitations. My heart is not the same. Some days for 3 days, 3 nights, I'm buried on my sofa, unable to drink a cup of tea.
Mhm.
Palpitations beyond dehydration, lots of bone pain. I still don't have fingernails. My vision is poor. I don't have the muscles in my hands. I drop my tea, I drop my food. I'm unable to cook. Most times, I'm unable to cook. Standing is very painful. I can walk up and down and do my little chores, but I cannot walk around the block many days. And life is not the same. And I want everyone to know this because people are looking at me and think it's okay. She looks good. She's doing good. No, no, no. Go and get your yearly mammogram, please, I don't want you to suffer the way I am suffering. When I was going through cancer, I told my husband, we are going through, and he did not understand it. But now his body is going through its own turmoil. He now understands, yes, we went through cancer. It's not easy.
Right, when the family suffer.
Yes.
Ramola, what advice would you like to send out to women, especially to our young women?
Listen to your body. Respect your body. Enjoy your body. Be you. Educate you. Narayan have said so much for our young women. Empowering yourself, educating yourself. And you can overcome anything. And yes, one day we are going to roll.
Yeah, and after Narayan came off, I know he's listening. Narayan, she said you have impacted her so much she wanted to cry for the whole show listening to you because you were so impactful. And that's why I bring you on sometimes. You are the master blaster of all of this. My next question to you, if you have to go down this path again, as happened in many cancer patients, are you worried that this would come back again? Or do you have that faith that this would not come back?
Yes, I awake every morning, and every cancer patient is going through the same. Is there cells growing within me? Would I manage? Am I going to go through chemo again? Will I survive? Is the doctor going to catch it on time?
Mhm.
Is it going to be aggressive? Would my family be here for me? It's something every cancer patient go through. But to be honest with you, if I were able to manage and go through it again, yes. The answer is yes.
Mm.
Why I'm saying that? Many nights we go to bed and people don't wake up. A massive heart attack,
Mhm. Really?
diabetic, accident, COVID. So cancer gives us time. If it's months or years, we have time to appreciate, reflect, and make peace with ourselves and peace with God. So yes,
That's very true. You go to bed, you leave the house, and you don't know what's going to happen. Um, do you think that women or people on the whole look at you differently? I know many people, and as you've said, a lot of your family members hide their sickness. But since I know you, you have always been public about your situation. Why?
awareness. I wasn't ready. I was 21 years old. I had beautiful boobs. I never dressed with sexy clothes and all of that. And I just want women to enjoy themselves, appreciate themselves, respect themselves. I want people to save their life. And during my chemo days, I met many women that they were stage 1 and they're living in chemo and they didn't have to go through surgery. They were so educated that they stay on top of their yearly mammogram. As I said, I missed mine 2017. 2016 was clean. And here, 2018, early 2018, I was diagnosed. If I had only gone 2017 and do my yearly mammogram, I wasn't going to be suffering the way I am now.
Wow.
So yes, young women, listen to your body.
So, I'm gonna deviate from our questions. You're gonna follow that. I will do things differently,
Okay.
right? But you're gonna follow your lead.
Mhm.
Um, did did you have to remove your breasts or no? Or if you don't want to answer, you can stay. Because I know as a nurse that when you have to do mastectomy, which is the removal of your breast, it leaves a body image problem. How do you take that? That I'm asking you.
Oh, my personal physical image. I'm not gonna let that affect me. Like some people I got a big stomach because I don't have a boobs now. My stomach show, and people question why is your belly big. So I learned to accept I'm pregnant.
Oh yeah.
Oh
You
yeah, I'm old and sexy and pregnant. Um,
She's always positive.
your question, what was it?
So if the options that you had,
Oh,
did they tell you, well, you have to?
I have the genes, the
Right.
BRCA2 positive genes.
Right.
So that's why I had to take out both. It's like Angelina Jolie. She
Right.
have the BRCA genes.
Right.
So I had BRCA genes plus the tumor. So yes, both had to go.
And how do you deal with the everyday, like when you watch in the mirror, you don't see the girls there?
Oh no.
It doesn't bother you.
No,
Good for you.
my husband said to me, he said, babe, think of it that it's not good.
Yeah.
So we have to get rid of it.
Yes.
And when he said that to me, I was like, yeah, let's go and get rid of it. It's not good.
Wow.
It was him.
Well, that's good. And it makes a big difference when you have a partner who understand what's going on. The other thing is I want to tell our viewers, when you find out that you have cancer and it's at the first stage, when it's the first stage, that means it's just localized. Let's say if you have it in your lungs, it just in your lungs, it doesn't go anywhere else. But if you find it when it metastasizes, when it reached different organs of your body, then there is a big problem for that. So in your case, what stage did they find out that you had cancer?
Stage 2.
Okay. So which is not too bad. And that's a good way they found it, either stage 1 or stage 2, because like I know someone who died recently, one of my wife cousin, they found out that he had cancer 1 month, and after 6 months he was gone.
That's why I keep saying, if I did not go to my doctor, I wasn't going to be here. Following 2019, I'll probably be stage 4.
Yes.
So early detection saves
The
lives.
key. So we want to save lives, guys.
Yes.
You go and you get your mammogram. For women, you do your mammogram, you do your pap smear, and you do after a certain age, you do your annual physical. Also, if you know that you have a strong gene, like she's saying, your BRCA2 genes, that means you want to check yourself. And I'm going to ask her.
Generic testing.
Yes. The genetic testing. I'm going to ask her a tough question too. Now, what advice? You have a daughter?
Yes, I have a daughter.
We know that men can get cancer too. But I am praying to God that nothing happens to your kids. Also, I want to say in the same voice, in the same wording, that not because you have cancer, that means that your children will get cancer. It could pass to other generation or whatever it is. So I don't want anyone to get scared because you got, But what advice are you giving your daughter now? Or are you having that conversation?
Yes, I'm having that conversation. Stay away from sweets. Drink a lot of water. You have to eat healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so we are practicing healthy eating at home.
And in terms of mammogram, you tell her to go and check
Yeah, my husband, he's so knowledgeable now.
Oh, really?
God forsake something happened to me. He's plaiting hair and
yeah?
he learned. Yeah, he learned.
How old is your daughter, by the way?
My daughter is 16, but she had her own challenges. But
really?
when I was diagnosed, she was 11, 12.
Yes.
So my husband have learned a lot to take care of her.
Yeah, wow. But so Radhika is going to ask you the next question.
Yes, so you're Ramali, you're saying that you eat healthy. Tell us about your nutrition. Are there any special foods to prevent cancer?
My oncologist said no. Food doesn't really help you. But according to Google, and Google helped me a lot. I Google Holy and I do my stuff. We increase in our garlic at home, our vegetables, less sugar, lots of olive water, daily exercising, lots of nuts. Protein is number 1. Calcium is number 2. Grains. Yeah, healthy eating.
And I want to add to our viewers, if anyone's going to listen to this program, And guys, share this program. This piece here is a very good informational piece to listen to. Regularly, it's always good to eat a healthy diet, eat a balanced diet. One of the things that I know that a lot of people don't eat is a lot of vegetables and fruits and so on. We go with our Korean roti or Korean rice, and that's about it. No, we need to add some vegetables and some fruits in our diet. Also, one thing that I really don't do a lot, but summer is coming here in New York, in the States, no, New York now. One of the things I want to start do again is to exercise. And you don't have to exercise and kill yourself. Half an hour a day, 5 days a week is just good enough. What's your take?
5 minutes is better than none at all.
Amen. I say amen to that.
Yeah. Yes, 5 minutes is better than none at all. My bones are very weak. I cannot do much, but I'm stretching. I'm doing a lot of breathing exercise, and it helped me to lose weight. I have lost 27 pounds over the past 3 months by simple sitting and doing my breathing exercise and free hands and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm. And she looks beautiful in the studio here, I must say. Radhika, do you want to talk about her shawl? I know she want to talk about it, but yes. I don't want to forget. Give us a shout out about that.
Yeah, Ramola has been home since since all of this has been happening to her. But we're in America, and as you all know, bills keep coming in. So she tries her best from home to do her little business, Indian. So she sells Indian wear, and you can check out most of her outfits and all her accessories on her not a website, on her page, on her Facebook page, Ramola Prasad. Can you show us the shawl? She's sporting a beautiful shawl here today.
We should let Radhika, but the space here is not too a lot. That's why you see I'm leading here, because I want three of us to eat it.
I try to.
Or if you let Radhika wear it for us and parade a little bit.
Yes, sure.
She's a model too.
There you go. Isn't it beautiful?
Oh, she can sing too.
Beautiful. Check out the
sequin.
No, it's embroidery.
Embroidery, okay.
Beautiful. I think we can.
Yes. The color of the clothes doesn't go with our background
really
too. But
beautiful. Yes.
Yeah, it's not showing. Yeah, it's not showing through the light.
And I disappear.
Wow.
Oh, I can do magic here. Look at that. Done. I'm here. I'm done. I love this.
My next question to you,
keep it on.
If she's not going to show. So anyway, yeah, you could put it on. It's showing now.
I love it.
Keep it on.
So, has this experience, when we're young, we sometimes get crazy, we get upset easily. We look at things differently. When we get, like, I had COVID and I was sick for like 2 months. I'm going to ask you a COVID question too. How do you look at life now? Do you get upset easily? Do you take things easy? How do you look at it?
Are you more calm about it?
Very calm. Nothing is worth it to fight over anymore. It's not relevant. Mm-hmm. Let's enjoy us. Let's enjoy what we have. Let's share the one meal or the one apple. Let's just live in love, unity, selflessness, give more, love more, be contented, and just enjoy being you. Life is short. 10 years ago, we was young, wonderful, happy, careless people. 10 years from now, that's not a promise for any one of us. So now, we are in control of now. Let's enjoy and appreciate everyone, not only our husband and our wife and our kids and our own blood. No. You is someone else's children also. I may gone tomorrow and you may be the one taking care of my children. So no, let's be grateful for each other and embrace life. Thank you.
Ramola, I noticed that you keep hiding your fingernails. Do you want to talk a little bit about this? Why do you hide them?
My fingernails came back like jelly, and I don't have fingernails. I can't cook roti, thanks to Singh's Roti Shop. No, it growing as a jelly, and I have to go into the
Salon?
skin. No, the skin to take it out, and it's so hard to simply do my chores at home.
Mm-hmm.
So my doctor said to me, I was diagnosed with lymphedema
Mm-hmm.
in my two hands.
Right.
And my doctor said to me, do you really understand what your body went through?
Mm-hmm.
So if the external bone is giving you so much problem, what do you think is happening within?
Inside, yes.
So then I understand why my foot and all the bodily pains and my teeth and my eyes. Chemo kills you. Chemo really did. It damaged me. I lose a teeth.
Oh, really?
Yes, I lose a teeth. I have an implant within days. My gum just fall apart and my teeth just came out, and it's not nice. I don't want this for anyone.
You know, not only a tooth, but Ramola also lost all her hair before. And I'm amazed how beautiful her hair grew back, And she has strands of grays that came out. And she's so proud of them. She's so proud of her gray, a few strands.
Yeah.
But it looks beautiful. And she said, I'm going to straighten my hair. I said, no, I love you with your curly hair. She has beautiful curly. And your hair has grown back so beautifully. You are a beautiful woman. You are indeed. Let me go with one more question for her.
Mm-hmm.
If you have to give one person credit, for the support that has been given to you, who would that be?
My husband.
Mm-hmm.
It's my husband. As I said earlier, he have outdo my mom, all my in-laws, my own children, my husband.
Really?
Yes, he did. And as I said earlier, I don't give him credit at home because he has such a nice head, and I don't want it to get big. So yes, but it's my husband. Yes, he's a sweetheart.
Being a husband, I'll tell you, it's always good to give compliments. So when you go home, you let him know how appreciative you are for him. I believe in telling people nice things, and that would give him a lot of gas in his time to continue going. When you were sick and you lie in bed, what were some of the things that annoys? I mean, and I want you to say this because I want you to teach our people who's listening. When you're sick with cancer and you lie in your bed, what were some of the things that annoyed you when people come visit you, and what were some of the things that really helped you to ease your pain and that makes you feel good and positive?
So people ask you some of the weirdest questions.
Right.
One of it, why your belly big? Why your hair fall out? You should eat this and you should eat that.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't understand what you're going through. So I would get angry, but then I have to curb my anger because I don't have the strength.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I wasn't bitter.
Mm-hmm.
I spoke to a lot of cancer patient. One of my motivation was a girl by the name of Sunita from Suriname. She sings beautiful. And she told me, I fight with everyone. And I remember my aunt went through cancer and she was bitter also. So I curbed my anger and I said, I want to be better. So my husband will swear to God about this. When I'm sick, I'm one of the calmest, sweetest person. And he liked me when I was sick, honestly.
Oh, God.
Because when I get strength and
you fight back?
Yeah, I can fight.
Oh, God. Let's...
Sorry, I just remember Gita said when you were sick, you were a big baby. So, totally.
Really? I'm a baby? Oh, really? Well, you see, now you see, that's what I tell people. You got to tell your husband how you feel. And you see, I learned from you. So I have to let you and Gita get more close now. So you will tell me back more things. I think communication is really important. That's good, though. So let's give some love. I always believe in giving love to our audience. So in the meantime, you're going to come with your question after I finish.
Yes.
And so we have Savita Bimal. Thank you very much for watching. She's sending out the praying hands. Anita, my sister, says it's okay if his head gets big. He's a good man. you're blessed with a good husband. Absolutely. Shanita Ramru, good evening, my dear. Thanks for watching. Ryan is watching. He said, Ryan Lala. He says, I love my gray too. Will never dye my hair. I never dye my hair too. You see what gray hair I got? But I keep it. I think everyone loves the little salt and pepper.
It's blessings.
Yeah,
To
I
see
say
this
wisdom.
age, right?
I say it's wisdom. I'm not looking here for looks anyway.
I don't know. As long as they're nice and easy and Miss Clara, my hair will be black.
Oh God, that's all right. Naz Baksh, I think Naz is in Trinidad. Bibi Fazia Jaikaran, she says, may God keep you safe. Janet Hussein, you are beautiful. Let's see, we have again, Ravindra says, Ramola, you are a very beautiful, strong, positive woman. And Rowena says, beautiful mother Radhika, I told you she's a mother. Kamala Prasad Hussein, Ramola, you are the most positive person I know. And my sister says she liked the shawl. Let's see, we have your friend. As I'm talking here, somebody just texts me. The husband is drinking, so these are how my nights go sometimes. With the kind of things I do, you're surprised. And this is a story which the wife is going to come on my show soon because her husband is drinking. He went for treatment and he relapsed again. So she agreed to come on the show to show what alcoholism do to a family and the family dynamic. So she has agreed to come on. So soon I'll have a good guest. His whole face is swollen. So yes, sometimes Geeta have to yell at me. Let that phone silence your phone because all our night I get these kind of things. But anyway, let's go back to our beautiful guest, and Radhika is going to ask her next question.
I would like to know what last message would you like to send to our viewers tonight?
Appreciate life. I think I mentioned this earlier. Get your yearly mammogram, your pap smear. Spread love. Many will try to pull you down. Continue to be yourself. You are blessed in your own way. You're unique. You're beautiful. And only you have control over your peace and your sanity. Many of us women go into self-pity because of abuse. And abuse, as Narayan said it earlier, comes in a very large portion of psychological abuse, financial abuse, family abuse, in-laws abuse. No, nothing really matters. God bless you with this human body. You're in control of it. Just enjoy you. Eat, drink, focus on your family. Spread love, spread peace, spread unity, and just be you.
That's beautifully said. Can we
Well,
have a few more words?
Yeah, we have a couple of minutes. We have like 10 minutes. I'm going to talk. Let me clear my throat a little bit. So, a couple of things we learn. Early detection is the key for cancer. You pick it up early, you have years more to live. If you get it stage 1, that's the best thing. Stage 4, you know that your time on Earth is going to be shorter. When stage 4, it's gone to different organs of the body. It could go to your brain, to your lungs, and to your liver, and so on. And that's when it's no good. When you learn that someone has been diagnosed with cancer, you want to share love with them. You want to, like she says, you want to be supportive. You want to see how much you can help them. You can go buy grocery for them. You can take them to their doctor's appointment. You can help bring a meal for them, ask them what they want to eat. You can come, you can bring a dish for them, ask them what they want to eat, and you give it to them. Also, give them a little change because, they're not working. They need some money. And I always tell people, a lot of times, us Guyanese people, and please don't feel any way funny, when we find out someone, and I learned this the hard way, not the hard way, I learned this for myself, is that when you go to somewhere and you find someone is sick, you're not going there to take over and to be a doctor and to be all of this. If you don't know what to say, you stay quiet. You can touch their hand, play with their hand, give them a massage, give them a rub down, tell them how much you love them, how much they mean to you. You can offer to feed them, do their manicure because they can't take care of their fingernails. They can't take care of their toenails, sorry, footnail. So these little things you can do. You can help them take a shower or a bath. Just find good things to say to them. And don't tell them that, oh God, you got dead next week, or oh God, me know Tom Jones, he had cancer and lived 6 months.
I hear that a lot.
Right? So you don't want to do that because you're not God. You just want to go there non-judgmentally. You don't want to judge nobody. You don't want to compare that person to anyone else. Just be kind. Be good with your words. Even if you don't know it, like I said, go and sit down there, rub their head. I want you, if I get sick, come rub my head. Play with my hand, rub my head, whatever you got to do. I tell my wife that's what I want to do. I just remember, I want to ask you one question more. I know that we went through with COVID-19 for the past 2 years. And for me, the good thing with me, I got peace of mind in my own soul. How did you pass the past 2 years? What was your days like? Did you get COVID? Were you ever scared that you're going to get COVID?
Yes, I was scared. So remember I said my bones?
Right.
So my left hand was not cooperating with my brain. So even though I want to lift a cup, my hand would not lift the cup. So I would drop it. And I sit down and I make mass when there was no mass.
Oh, I remember that.
And by simply using my hand to pull back on the machine, my hand was forced to work. Seriously, I was in a bad shape. And that's where I gained all my weight. I think I'm suffering right now with eyesight. And I think it's because I spent many hours on that machine when I was weak to make mass.
Oh.
And I have made 10,080 mass.
Wow.
All day people was coming. I went on Facebook and I was begging for materials. And even a machine, people was lending me their machine. I used this even my bed sheet when I didn't have materials, but I continued sewing day and night. And for me, I felt that it was 10,080 lives I have saved because many nurses all the way from Connecticut and Bronx came and picked up those masks. You was talking about family support. During my chemo, I want to give shout out to a lady by the name of Auntie Tara from Queens Village, a big woman. She's a friend. She cooked for me every single chemo. So we will go and eat food.
Oh.
A cup of tea is waiting there for me, and food to bring home. There are a few people that came and washed my hair when my hands couldn't work.
See, yes.
And that's Rita, Gitanjali mom. Gita from Tulsi Mandir. Rita from Tulsi Mandir. She washed my hair. My mother-in-law and Auntie Tara massages my skin. My body used to pain me. Vicky Lau and Natasha Jumai, Andrea Bagwandin, Teacher Rita, Radhika here, my sister, Dr. Devika Prasad, and so Debbie Hardat. There are a lot of Facebook friends that I never had known before step up and bring us a meal.
Oh.
And it was what we needed. It was hard on my husband, as I said, and my daughter, and our gift cannot compensate for those kindness. So thank you, ladies. Thank you.
I gotta say, the most important thing a woman can do for another woman is share this experience, bring awareness to the possibilities, and also the men should be checking themselves, yearly or annual checkup. And today you certainly fit the role. I gotta say kudos to you. Well, what can I say? Life is tough, but so are you, my darling.
Rita is watching. Rita Pandey, she's watching.
Oh, so yeah, she washed my hair.
Yeah, good.
And thank you so very much for sharing your story with us. A woman with a voice is by definition a strong woman. And I've said before, Romola, you are one of the strongest women that I ever know. No matter what, you are always smiling. You always have a good word. You always have a kind word. And I remember now that you were making all those masks and donating. And I'm like, oh my goodness, is she okay? Are you going to be okay with night and day?
A lot of
You were
people was
obsessed
yes.
with
A lot
making
of
those
people
masks.
was worried and quarreling with me about doing it, but I was watching. It's a society in which my husband and my daughter is in, and myself, and we have to save some lives.
That's right. That's right. So we got only a couple of minutes, so you could say your closing remarks. I did say mine, so we can play a little tune, but you can go ahead and
Well, I just said thank
really.
you so very much, and I just want to thank all the viewers for coming, hearing this story. And Romola certainly makes a difference. Everybody, as she said, get your yearly checkup. I just did mine on February 26th, and everything was good. So
Yay.
yeah, thank God. So far, so good. And what can I say? It's been a nice chatting with you. Very, very enlightening to all women, to all men. Importance. It's very important to do your checkups. Don't leave it. Don't leave it for next year. Don't leave it for later. Just do what you have to do when you have to do it. Thank you all for logging on to this evening. And as I always say, God bless your hearts and all your other vital parts. See you next Sunday, Monday.
When she said vital parts, that's a big story she talked about.
Of course, big
I
people's
pray to
story
God
is
that,
10 o'clock.
about 10 o'clock, yes. Also, I want to say thanks to Nas Baksh, Rita Pandey, Missy Boo, my good friend. Thank you very much for watching the show, for your love and support. Until next week, I'll have another beautiful interview on Sunday on the Ken Ram Prasad Show. And on Monday, I'm not sure who we have yet, but definitely we'll come with something juicy, something nice, something enlightening. And we want to say thank you guys for your love, your support. Without you guys, from our hearts, with Radhika and Ken, we love you guys. So we're going to make a difference. Just believe.
Just believe.
Thank you very
God
much.
is
Thank you so much, Romola.
Thank you,
Thank
Romola,
you.
for coming on the show to share your story. And if only you save one soul, that would be a good thing. All
Gandhi
right.
said, change one person and you can change a village. And change begins with us.
Yes.
So I live by that.
Right.
Exactly. Right. So good night, everybody.
Good
See
night.
you guys next week.
Tata. Peace out.